Bonjour encore. Donc, okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is l'adjectif possessif au singulier. So there's a chart that says this in your book, in Le Nouveau Taxi, lesson 3. There's a chart that says l'adjectif possessif au singulier. So what this means is we're talking about possessive adjectives. Possessive adjectives are words like my, your, his, her. So these are the words that we're going to cover today. So in order to say my, in English, one word, in French, many words, as we have come to expect, I think. So we have mon, répétez, mon et ma. Ma. Mon et ma. Mon is for masculine singular words. Ma is for feminine singular words. So this is not about you. It's not about you. It is not about the owner or the possessor. It is about the thing or the person which is being possessed, which is owned, which is claimed. So, for example, let's say we want to talk about our parents. Let's say I want to talk about my father. The word for father is père. Père. Sounds like the fruit, père. If me, Miss Kim, I want to say my father, I say mon père. Mon père, my father. Because even though I am a woman, my father is a man. He is masculine. And the word father is masculine, so therefore it needs to be described with mon, which is used for masculine words. If I want to talk about my mother, the word for mother is mère. They rhyme. So nice. Père et mère. I want to talk about my mother, I say ma mère. Ma mère. It's not about me, it's about my mother. My mother is a woman. She is feminine. And the word mother, mère, is feminine. So therefore, it must be described with ma, which is for feminine words. Okay? If we want to say your, we have more options as well. We can say ton and we can say ta. Ton et ta. Ton is for masculine singular words. Ta is for feminine singular words. So this is for two, right? Both of these are for two. So you run into your one friend that you know on the street and you say, "Oh, hey, how are you? How is your father doing?" Your father, ton père. Ton père. This is for two, singular, informal you, person, who is possessing a masculine singular thing or person. Your father is a person. So ton père is masculine singular. If you run into your one singular friend to whom you would say tu, and you want to ask, how is your mother? Your mother, ta mère. Ta mère. Okay. We also can ask about vous. So let's say you run into maybe an acquaintance or you have a boss. You run into your boss and you say, "Oh, hey, how is your mother doing?" We would say votre. Votre. That's an R and that's an E. Votre. This is masculine or feminine singular. So you could say votre père or votre mère. Masculine or feminine, but only singular. So we use vous, remember, if we're talking to one person politely, you say vous. So you run into your boss, you say, "How is your mother?" Votre mère. Your mother. We also use vous in plural situations. So if you're talking to many people or more than one person, let's say you run into your two friends and they are twins. You are friends with twin sisters, you run into them, you say, hey, how's your mother? Votre mère. Even though they're both your friends, you say vous because they're plural. And they share one mother, so it's still singular. We don't yet know how to say plural things, if you own plural things, or if you have plural things. We can't say that yet. So you can speak to many people or one person politely about one singular thing, either masculine or feminine, that is theirs. Votre père, votre mère. We also have his and her. His and her. This is son et sa. In English, we differentiate based on he and she. Who is the owner of the object, right? If I say his house, you know that house is owned by a masculine person. If I say her house, you know that that house is owned by a feminine person. In French, we differentiate based on the object that is being owned. So just like before, the object that is being owned or the person that is being claimed. So it's about the thing that is claimed. So mon père, because my father is masculine. Ma mère, because my mother is masculine. So the same here. There's only one way to say his or her. It doesn't differentiate based on the owner, but based on the thing or the possession. It sounds bad because we're talking about people, but if we're talking about things, maybe it makes more sense. But okay. So son is for masculine singular things. So let's say we're talking to our friend Louis, who is a boy, and our friend Claire, who is a girl. If I want to ask about Louis' father, how is his father? I would say son père. Son père. Because the father is masculine. If I want to ask about Claire's father, Claire is a girl, but her father is masculine, I would say son père. Son père. His father, son père. Her father, son père. If I want to ask about their mothers, I would use sa, because sa is feminine singular. So I run into you and I want to ask, oh, do you know how Louis' mother is? I would say sa mère. Sa mère. I want to ask how Claire's mother is doing. Sa mère. So it's not about Louis and it's not about Claire. It's about the father or the mother or the thing that they are claiming or the thing that we're assigning to them. Okay? So hopefully this makes sense. I can't see you, so I don't know if you're staring confused at your computer or if you're nodding and you're like, I totally get it. But hopefully this makes sense. If you have questions, please type them to me on the Google Doc. And what we'll do is a little bit of practice. So we can use these things to talk about people in the third person, like he or she. So let's say you want to talk about my assistant. My assistant. So we learned the word assistant, right? And we just learned mon and ma. So here's actually another kind of important point. So if you're talking about my assistant, so you could translate that into the masculine form of assistant or the feminine form of assistant. So you could say mon assistant. Or if it's feminine, we should say ma, right? Ma assistant with the E. However, with words that begin with a vowel, we always use the masculine form because of the sound, right? We do all these things to make it sound nicer. We don't want our vowels slurring together. I don't want to say ma assistant. Ugh, gross. So we do not say this. We always say mon assistant, whether it's masculine or feminine. Mon assistant, mon assistante, feminine. Okay? So let's say you want to tell me about your assistant. You have this assistant and I don't know. She's great. She's on top of her game. She knows what she's doing. She gets you your coffee. It's a great life you're living with your assistant. So you're telling me about your assistant and you want to say, my assistant's name is Céline. So we can use this, my assistant, to say in the third person. So you could say, mon assistante s'appelle Céline. Okay? So this is the third person, right? He, she. We say, il s'appelle Louis. Elle s'appelle Céline. So, mon assistante s'appelle Céline. So, I'm saying my assistant's name is Céline. Essentially, her name is Céline. That's why we're using the third person s'appelle. So I'm going to give you a couple other examples that I want you to translate for yourself and to come up with sentences about these people, okay? So we have my assistant. You can also come up with a sentence for your friend. Your friend. You singular, forget that. You singular informal, right? So that's code for two. Singular informal you is two. So I want to hear about your friend. Tell me a sentence using the term your friend in French. Let's do his actor, her son. So in the dialogue, we see the word son. I think it's also in there. So son is fils. F-I-L-S. Fils. Her son. Let's say your daughter. Your daughter, polite. So son is fils. Daughter is fille, in case you're not sure. There it is. Son is fils, daughter is fille. So write a sentence about you, polite, your daughter. And then one more. Okay, let's do my dentist. So we can talk about people in even more ways now, which is great. We love talking about people. So you can use all of the types of sentences that you did with your famous person kind of homework that we talked about or exercise. So you can say their name, you can say where they're from, where they live, what languages they speak, what else? Their age. I might have said that already. What they do, their profession, right? So obviously if you're talking about his actor, we know that he's an actor. But you could say son acteur, acteur. His actor is an actor. Fine, I accept. As long as it's grammatically correct, okay? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences I want you to write. I want you to come up with 5 sentences, and you can send them to your partner. Send them to your partner that you spoke to earlier and kind of compare and help each other out and see if your partner has made any mistakes or if you notice anything that we could change about their sentences to make them better. Okay, so that's your task right now. Write your 5 sentences about these people in French and then send your sentences to a partner, compare what each of you have done, and then kind of meet back together. If you have any questions, then let me know on the Google Doc. Okay?